Well, hello everybody, welcome back. We're doing some more driving. Hi, how you doing? We have a boom lift thing here, which, maybe not, like, it's a long boy, and I don't drive the best, as we know, so, like, maybe not the best life choice, but it is, in fact, the life choice that we made. So, it do be like that. We are going from Clovis to Flagstaff, Clovis, New Mexico to Flagstaff, Arizona. And the reason that I specifically picked this one is because I think we're gonna hit a city that we haven't seen on the way. That's kind of like the vibes. Also, if you watched the last one and I was like, am I having an audio issue? Basically, I had to update Beacn, which is my audio mixer, since I played ATS last. And so what happened is then the game audio wasn't going where it was supposed to be, so that's what happened. I think I can turn it up a bit, to be honest. Oh, hello. There we go. I think that's probably good. Again, I have a hard time reaching things because I'm so far away. But welcome on in. I hope you guys are doing so well. I'm kind of hungry. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I need a little snacka. But we desperately need to grocery shop, and so the snackas are in low supply at the moment. But we're going today, I think. Tomorrow. We're going soon. I got the list. I got the meal plan for the next 2 weeks. We should make it. We should survive. So yeah, that is what we are up to. Simply vibing. Just like today, we are vibing on our little trip, which is slightly over 9 hours, I believe. Faster if we can speed. So anyway, last part that I recorded of ATS, I was talking about my new volunteering thing and how that went, and the like random stress. And then I remembered, like, it's been like a month since I recorded any ATS, so like, so we gotta catch up. I feel like in the last update about invoicing, so I do water taxi invoicing, was I messaged my boss and I said, I don't want to do this anymore, find somebody else, essentially. Okay, it wasn't quite like that, but I was really frustrated because I had a couple weeks in a row that were like just tragic, and then my boss asked me if I wanted to be a call center down here for the resort, which I had already said I didn't want to do. And so this kind of just opened up the dialogue that I don't think he wanted to open up, because I was going to wait until the end of the season to have this conversation with him. But between that and then realizing that Navionics, which is the program, the app that I use to plot boat trips, was about to expire, and it's $80 a year to, oh shoot. No, not a cop, okay. It's $80 a year to renew, and considering I'm unfortunately super efficient when it comes to invoicing, sometimes I wouldn't even make that in a month. And so I sent him an email and I said, hey, here's the situation. No, I don't want to do that. Like, regardless of whether you're joking or not, I'm not interested in that. But that brings up a solid point where I am not live, laugh, loving this. And I said, I explained the thing about how, like, I don't make enough. It doesn't make sense for me to pay for this app. I'm like, previously it was okay because I had other jobs that were like high paying, and I could use that money to pay for it. I'm like, which, looking back, it's kind of dumb that I had to have another job to finance this app for this job. And then I said, and like, I've been making the same amount of money, like, almost like for the last 5 years doing this. I'm like, it does not make financial sense for me to continue going on at this current compensation, right? And so he was like, oh, I figured you'd be making a lot of money. You do a lot of work. But it's like, here's the thing. That man has, like, I got that ADHD, I'm pretty sure. But this man has that ADHD. Oh, okay, bud. I didn't think that thing was going to hit me so hard. I thought it was going to fall over. So what I can do in like an hour or less, it takes this man like 4 hours to do. So now I can understand why he thought I was like making a ton more money, because what takes him 3 hours to do, I'm doing in 30 minutes. So he goes, oh, I've never seen one of your invoices. Do you not want to do this? Like, we could get through without you. We could probably pay for the app if you want. Blah, 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 blah. And so I thought about it. I said, okay, because I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to make a high enough, I'm going to just go past these. I'm going to make a high enough wage increase request that it's going to make him question it, right? So I came back with him. I said, yeah, so for context, like, some months I do less than 4 hours of work, which is why I make, less than the $80 a month. I'm like, because I'm very efficient at what I do. Blah, 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 I went through and I said, okay, here's my terms and my conditions for continuing to do this until the end of the year. Okay. I'm sure he'll want to have another conversation at the end of the year, but I'm like, here's my thoughts. Okay. You're paying for this app because I don't want to pay for it. And he was fine with it. He's like, I never would have thought to pay for it, but yeah, like, that makes sense. And then, oh shoot. And then I asked for an $11 raise. And this man has the audacity to come back and say, yeah, I still think that's a good deal. And I was like, dang it, I should have done more. So anyways, I got like an obscene raise to do it, and they're gonna pay for the app, and then we'll see. Like, if he wants me to continue, if he wants me to continue on doing this, I'm just gonna keep being like, every time we get to the end of like the contract, it's just gonna be more money that I ask for until he stops asking me to do it. I will say though, I have seen him make changes already, and so I don't know if he's making changes because he's anticipating me not being around eventually. Oh shoot. Or what? So basically, when I used to work at the resort, it was totally chill because I was in the store all the time. So if somebody came in and they did a water taxi trip or whatever and they paid for it, I would mark paid on the calendar, so that when it came time to do invoicing, I would know that the thing was paid and that I didn't have to worry about it or follow up or anything. Obviously, I'm not there, so I can't do that. I can't just go, oh yeah, I know John paid because I marked it paid, and nobody else was marking paid. Predominantly. Sometimes it would be like, get credit card information. And so on top of like invoicing and any like other things with like the companies that I had to be like, hey, here's a flag for this, like, this doesn't make sense. Like, certain, like the other day I was doing invoicing and I was like, okay, so like Frank traveled into this location on Monday. On Tuesday, he traveled into the location again. And on Tuesday afternoon, he traveled out of the location. He did not travel out on Monday. And the location was the resort. I'm like, and the cabins are full, so he couldn't have stayed out there. So it wasn't like Frank traveled in and then John on behalf of Frank traveled in the next day. Like, no, like, where was this man? So like, and that's like something that like you have to pay attention for. Like, if Frank went in, he had to have come out at some point, and like sometimes people go in and like come out like a week later, but yeah, so it's like that stuff they're watching for. But so like on top of all that stuff where I'm going, hey, where's Frank? Or like, hey, based on my knowledge and stuff, there should be a standby time on this. Like, it's very rare that this trip happens without there being standby time on it. So like, you need to go track down the standby time from the skippers and stuff, right? But then on top of that, there's like all these other things that aren't going through the company. So they're like, John calls up, he says, hey, I hear you run water taxis, can you drive me from here to here? And sometimes it'll say like cash, whatever the price is, and so the skipper has to collect cash because that person knows to bring that cash. Other times it'll say get credit card information. Other times it will have the credit card, the person's credit card number information on there. And like, when I was working there, they got to a point where they had a separate spreadsheet. So they'd be like, go to spreadsheet and the information's there. No, now they've just gone back to putting people's credit card information. So like, and like, it'd be one thing if only certain people, like people who are like involved with the financials, had access to that calendar, but literally everybody that works there has access to that calendar. And I'm like, it doesn't have as much as it used to, but I'm like, so anyways, And so like I will have to be like, hey, did this credit card get run? Hey, it says there's a pre-authorization in the till for this trip. Did that get run? And so I think after like 3 weeks in a row of this, and like so many, because he's like, oh, I think they're all paid for, but I just like have to follow up. Well, so this week finally I was doing invoicing on the weekend, and all those trips had a paid thing on them. So obviously he finally got sick of me. Oh shoot, that's Cape. Yep. He finally obviously got sick of me being like, hey. And so I'm like, is he anticipating an eventual time when he won't have me to like catch on these? So he's like trying to finally get people on. But the thing is they're at the end of their season right now. So all the people that like work in the store and stuff that they've trained, I mean, the skippers obviously will be back and still there, but like, so we will see how that goes. And also like, I don't know, like so his dad does the payroll and stuff, and he pays me. And I'm like, you know what, we're just gonna hit it. If I hadn't hit the second one, that wouldn't have been so bad. I was trying to just avoid the ticket because the ticket was gonna suck. But I hit the second one, so, you know, could have been better. It's fine. But I'm like, has he had a conversation with his dad about this raise? Because I haven't sent an invoice, because I only send my invoice every 2 months, because again, I don't do it very much. So I'm like, it just be like a pain. I'm like, so has he had a conversation with his dad? Because he was like, yeah, he'll pay whatever. And I'm like, I know this man. I've known this man for like 7 years, and he is a penny pincher to the extreme. So like, that's like a significant amount more money, and plus you're paying for the thing. So anyways, we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna send it at the end of this month, so I'll try to remember to keep you updated if there's any drama. I assume there won't be. I'm just gonna be like, as per your son, this is how much you're paying me. Also, here's this invoice for that. But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of drama going on there. My friends still work out there. One of my friends has worked out there for like, 14 or 15 years. Oh, shoot. I was paying attention to the cop. Like 14 or 15 years now. And then my other friend started working there like 5 years ago, during COVID. I got him a job out there. And then they came together. And they love each other so much, and they had a baby. Anyway, so they work out there, and like obviously working out there and having a child in a remote location is a challenge. Their baby is young right now, so they don't have to worry about schooling or anything, but it can certainly be a challenge, especially as they're both water taxi skippers, and sometimes they can be on the water for like 12 plus hours a day. So like, I don't know how that's working, but she just came off of mat leave, I think a couple months ago. And there's kind of officially, I think, and there's been some drama out there, and I've said this ever since even since before they had the baby. I was like, they aren't going to be out there for much longer, because their skill set that they have between the two of them, they could go somewhere else and make like an obscene amount of money. I don't think he has his 60 ton anymore for boats, but he could easily recertify for it. The only reason he doesn't have it is because he didn't have a boat to get his hours on, because you need a certain amount of hours. So like, he could easily get that. And like, she has her SVOP, he has his SVOP, which is like a commercial boat operator license. And she has like level 3 first aid, which is essentially a paramedic. And so yeah, like he went to school for hospitality and stuff. So like, they have like so many skills. So before they even have this baby, I'm like, I feel like they'll eventually leave, because the resort will grow too small for them, or it won't grow fast enough for them, you know? But now that they have a baby, right? Like, there's gonna come a point where they're gonna be like, wait, like, eventually we're gonna want to retire. And yes, they are saving money right now, obviously, because they have housing provided for them. So they're obviously saving money, but like, eventually they're probably gonna want to buy their own house or something. And like, maybe when their baby gets to school age, instead of homeschooling, they're gonna want to send that baby to school. Which is like not super easy to do when you're living in the middle of nowhere. So I'll just be intrigued. Like, I think I've known him for a lot of my life, like since I was a teenager. So I've known him for like ages. One of my best friends for sure. I met her when I first started working out at the resort, and also like one of like, you know, I feel so lucky to have made some friends from that job in my adult life that I don't think I would have ever met, and they're like, you know, ride or die kind of thing. And so like for them to be together is just like so perfect. They can't break up because it'd be real awkward for me. But I knew that he would be such a good influence for her, for like standing up for herself and stuff. Like it reminds me so much of me and Azurite. Like I'm someone who will put everybody else ahead of myself to my own detriment. And like, that's okay, because I feel like I need to be useful and I need to fix things for people and all that kind of stuff. And it's not okay. Sorry. But like, that's like how I am. And she's very similar to me. And so like, it's so nice to see like Azurite has done, oh God, this is going to go terribly, terribly. Azurite has been so good for me in the sense of like helping me work through that and understanding that I have value besides just what I can provide to other people. And so I feel like my friend is doing the same thing for my other friends. Like, I think that's so great. So like, I'm so here to see like what they're gonna do with their lives. They're so cool. But yeah, it was just so funny because like when they were like courting, my friend is such the overthinker. And again, because I relate so much to my friend, and I could be like, hey, he'd be like, she didn't even say hi to me today. I'm like, buddy, for context, we're midway through the summer season. She hasn't had a day off for like 4 weeks. She's been going nonstop from dawn to dusk. And she's probably just, all she's thinking is like, I should probably put some sort of food in my person and sleep. And you know what? Maybe shower if I get the chance. And he's like, well, I don't know. Like the number of times I had to talk that man off the ledge. I finally told her, like after they got pregnant, I finally was like, I don't know if you're aware of how many conversations I had with this man when he was freaking out. And she's like, oh. And like, it was a wild time. Like the number of times he was like, I don't think she likes me anymore. And I'm like, bro, she's been in town for 2 days. Well, she didn't text me. Should I text her? Yeah. Well, is it okay if I double text? Yeah. Yeah, fun times. But anyways, it was all the hard work was 100% worth it. I love. Speaking of the day that I'm recording this, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged. Well, okay, sorry, they announced their engagement. They've probably been engaged for a while, but like, you know, I know like parasocial relationships are like a weird thing, but like I truly just like, you know, wish the best for people who I enjoy things they create, like their music, or like artists or like actors and stuff. I just like truly wish them the best. I just like, I see people out there, even if I don't know them, like sometimes I'll see like a TikTok and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm just so happy for you. I love. I'm so happy for them. May they be happy evermore. And yeah, it's just the vibe. Oh shoot. It reminds me, okay, so like I say, I love. I'm gonna drama, okay? I'm gonna drama. There was this person who used to come to my stream. They no longer come to my stream because they are not welcome there anymore. But I remember them talking about how they were like, oh, I've started to date, like I'm on a dating app. And it's like hearing about their dating stories and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's like so cool and stuff, right? And then they found somebody and they got engaged, which is awesome. They got married. Great. Love that for them. But the man would come into chat and speak very inappropriately about things, like about his wife's anatomy, certain areas, and stuff like that. And like, I had to ban him because I was like, it is one, not okay to come in here and talk about somebody else's body, especially in a way like that. And then two, just, you know, talk about all your adult activities that you're doing. Like, he's like, hey, I'm married, so now I can do this because, you know, was very, very Christian, and like not before marriage, from what I understand, and then was immediately like, hey, now I'm like, how is that appropriate to come in? Because like literally came and said, hey, my wife likes golf, mini golf. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like mini golf's great. And then he's like, actually, I'm talking about this. And I'm like, bye. Like, what? And then this individual had a specific catchphrase, right? Would always come in or like in the middle of conversation, just say this. And I'm like, and so I legit said, if they take the ban and they wait like a month or something and they think about what they've done and they apologize and they understand, then maybe we can give them an attempt back in the community, but like on a short leash, right? I'm like, if they immediately request to be unbanned with their catchphrase, it's a no. And I have never been so correct in my life. That's exactly what happened. Like the next day with their catchphrase, no remorse. Just like, you're gone, you're out, you're done. And like, on one hand, it sucks because that's someone who was like in my community from like really early on. But on the other hand, like, no, that is not appropriate and that is not okay. And just because you've been around for a while doesn't mean you get different standards. I totally timed someone out the other day because they were sassing me and they're like, I was on a delay. I'm like, I don't care. I told you to stop. I was having anxiety because there was something. I used to have a matching game on, oh shoot, how am I gonna, can I thread the needle? Yeah. I used to have a matching game on my starting and be right back screen. But it ended up being like one person would just play it the whole time and nobody else had a chance to play it. So I just got sick of it because it was just one person doing all the numbers to match. So the way it works is somebody puts a number in chat and it'll flip a thing. I muted it because I wasn't using it anymore because I changed my starting screen and it was still making the sound on the starting screen. But it wouldn't make a noise on anything else. Then yesterday it was making noise anytime a number was typed in chat or some emotes or some people's names because if they have numbers in them. Oopsie, sorry. So I was getting like really stressed out because I'm like, I couldn't figure out what was happening because it was happening on scenes that it wasn't on. Oopsies, sorry. And I'm just collecting crash offenses. So I deleted it from the scene it was on. It didn't matter. It was still working. So I went and I deleted the existence of the entire widget. So like the browser source that like where that source was coming from, I deleted that. It was still working. And all that jazz. So I was literally having a meltdown and someone's like, well, would it work if you like restart a stream? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I restart stream, if it will fix it or if it will still be a problem. And so I sent my mods the instructions for it. And then finally, hilariously, the person that I timed out, because they kept hitting numbers. I'm like, I'm literally about to have an anxiety attack. Like, you need to stop. And then I timed them out. But anyways, they figured out that, because like, it's actually a smart start to start a game, but the game still runs even if you don't start it. It just starts the timer. And so then if you start the timer, then at the end of the 3 minutes it goes, if someone hasn't got a match. Dang it, I didn't realize I hit that. We're not doing great. Anyways, it's fine. We tried endgame and that didn't matter. And then finally that person was like, hey, exclamation mark pause. And that worked, which was fantastic. And I'm never going to use that game ever again now because like, what the heck? It didn't exist and yet it wouldn't go away. And I was thinking about getting other games that I could try on stream, but now I'm like kind of like cautious because I'm like, with that being like such a thing, I don't think I got that other city I thought I was gonna get. Dang. It was like one of those things where it's like it's going close by but maybe not right there. I mean, I might have got it. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy yabbering away about love and banning people and timeouts and things not working and my invoicing thing. So annoying that like, okay, I'm glad that I'm making more money invoicing, but also it's like super annoying because like I didn't want to invoice anymore. And so I figured $11 would be enough to dissuade, and it wasn't. Okay, buddy, you've been stopped there for like 5 minutes. But anyways, like I said, if he asks me to do it again, I'll probably go by like another 5. And then we'll just keep, like I said, keep going until eventually he's like, this is ridiculous. And I'll be like, yeah, me too. I agree. But like the thing is one, like I said, I am efficient at what I do. Hey, I discovered a thing. Oh my god. No, no, no. No. My pedals went sideways and so I couldn't reach the brake because it just slipped. Anyway, this is fine. But yeah, like I understand, like I'm a valuable person. I gave him a 3 weeks notice. I was like, 3 weeks, this is expiring. And I'm not re-upping it. But like, I understand I am a valuable person. I'm fast at what I do. I know the areas. I know the people because I've talked about it before. Like, it'll be like John traveled from here to here. And unless you know that John works for this company, like how are you going to know how to invoice that? So there's some stuff still that I'm like, I don't know who this is. And we just kind of guess based on, we just kind of guess based on various things. I feel like this is where I parked last time. Not like here last time, but like last time I feel like I was right by a light post again. All right. We did excellent. We did get like, okay, we didn't lose any money here. I'm pretty sure we lost like, probably like 30,000 tickets. No, not 30,000. Oh my goodness, that'd be ridiculous. Like 3,000, 4,000, probably 5,000 in tickets, but it's fine. We didn't flip. And we got excellent. I will take that. Thank you so much for watching. If you like more content like this and me just yabbering away, you know what to do. It's subscribe. You should subscribe. If you want some live content, you should follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/KeeperCGC. I sometimes play ATS over there, but I play a lot of like Palia. I play other cozy games, a lot of indie games, some Nintendo games. I feel like everybody plays Nintendo games, so I like oftentimes just do those on my own. I just got myself Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm gonna play that off stream. That's gonna be great. And if you like demos and full game playthroughs, again, here is your place. I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.